What up? It's time to dribble. Let me make sure I got net check. Look at that beauty. The sophisticated cool brought to you by Fashion Blonde Couture. Make sure you go to the website. Get you some knittage. TheRealDribble.com. Ooh-wee. I was beat. Took a long nap, much needed. And I woke up to more death. I'm like, damn. So we're gonna talk about the untimely deaths of Dikembe Mutumbo and Pete Rose, who I believe passed away this evening. Peace. Basil, what up? Go get knitted, man. TheRealDribble.com. It's that season. Two legends in a day. I hope this ain't, well, Mutombo had brain cancer. I almost said I hope this ain't, related to the Jizzab. Shorty Doo-Wop, you spelled it wrong, man. Indianapolis, what up? Y'all like this video as y'all come in here. I heard Akbar prayers out of prison. They've been posting them all day. So maybe it's some truth to that. We're going to talk about Pete in the Hall of Fame. We are. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel and go check out my previous live stream I did with Deontay Cooley. He worked in the Department of Corrections in Pennsylvania. Eric Scott said, I'm tired of Gene Deal. Yeah, Pete Rose. That's in the title, man. Unfortunate situation. Pete Rose has been vilified my whole life. Through commissioners and everything. They never gave him a shot at getting into the Hall of Fame. They kept the Major League Baseball. They upholded their expulsion until he was deceased. It's gonna be very, very rotten for them to induct him in the Hall of Fame now that he's dead and he ain't here to celebrate it with us. Can't even give out a speech. But yeah, man, rest in peace to one of the Hoya greats. Rest in peace to one of the Hoya greats. Dikembe Mutumbo. And I'm speaking to my fans of the Georgetown Hoyas. Because before he was a star anywhere, he was a Hoya. We gonna get to Charleston White and Little Woody, but y'all share this live stream as y'all come in here. Tweet it, Facebook. He said, "What's up? Going to hear from you in a while, man. I just was on here Saturday night. I interviewed somebody from the Department of Corrections in Pennsylvania. So he said his son is a Hoya too. I didn't know that." Dikembe Mutumbo, known for his shot blocking skill and famed finger wave, dies at 58. Rest in peace to him. Dikembe Mutumbo was known as one of the first international ambassadors of the NBA. Basketball Hall of Famer, passed away Monday from brain cancer. He was 58 years old. He was inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in 2015. He was an 8-time NBA All-Star and won the league's Defensive Player of the Year award 4 times. His defensive prowess leading the league in blocks for 5 consecutive seasons during an 18-year playing career and retiring second on the NBA's all-time block shots list was offset by his huge, playful smile. Born in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the 7-foot 2-inch Mutombo came to Washington, D.C.'s Georgetown University initially on an academic scholarship in 1987 and rose to fame when he joined the basketball team in his second year. Damn, he didn't even come here to play basketball. He was selected fourth in 1991 NBA draft by the Denver Nuggets. Aside from the Nuggets, he played for the Atlanta Hawks, the Sixers. He was on that team with Allen Iverson and them that went to the NBA Finals in 2001. And then named to the New Jersey Nets, New York Knicks, and the Houston Rockets. Off the court, the Towering Center was known for his humanitarian work. In 1997, Mutombo established the Dikembe Mutumbo Foundation with a mission to improve education and quality of life in his native DRC. In 2022, the NBA said Mutombo was receiving treatment for a brain tumor in Atlanta. The league said he was surrounded by his family when he passed away Monday. Commissioner Adam Silver issued a statement saying Dikembe Mutombo was simply larger than life. On the basketball court, he was one of the greatest shot blockers and defensive players in the history of the NBA. Off the floor, he poured his heart and soul into helping others. There was nobody more qualified than Dikembe Mutombo to serve as the NBA's first global ambassador. He was humanitarian at his core. He loved what the game of basketball could do to make a positive impact on communities, especially in his native Democratic Republic of the Congo and across the continent of Africa. I had the privilege of traveling the world with Dikembe and seeing firsthand how his generosity and compassion uplifted people. He was always accessible at NBA events over the years with his infectious smile, deep booming voice, and signature finger wag that endeared him to basketball fans of every generation. Dikembe's indomitable spirit continues on in those who he helped and inspired throughout his extraordinary life. I am one of the many people whose lives were touched by Dikembe's big heart, and I will miss him dearly. On behalf of the entire NBA family, I send my deepest condolences to Dikembe's wife, Rose, and their children, his many friends in the global basketball community, which he truly loved and which loved him back. Sixers general manager Daryl Morey lauded Mutombo during the team's scheduled media day on Monday. He was even better off the court. There aren't many guys like him, just a great human being, Morey said. When I was a rookie GM in this league, my first chance in Houston, he was someone I went to all the time. He was older than me, which is pretty rare. Obviously, his accomplishments on the court we don't need to talk about too much. Just an amazing human being. What he did off the court for Africa. Rest in peace, Dikembe. Speaking to reporters, 76ers star Joel Embiid said it's a sad day, especially for us Africans and really the whole world, because other than what he's accomplished on the basketball court, I think he was even better off the court. He's one of the guys that I look up to as far as having an impact, not just on the court, but off the court as well. He's done a lot of great things. He did a lot of great things for a lot of people. He was a role model of mine. So like I said, it's a sad day. Rest in peace to the big fella, Dikembe Mutombo, Georgetown great. Played alongside Alonzo Mourning in that old Big East. If you was blessed to witness the Big East in the 1980s, you know that was the greatest era of college basketball ever. To never, ever be duplicated. The Big East Conference, they have a documentary on it. You can look it up. They did a 30 for 30. And he will be missed. A lot of my followers on Instagram, they told me we knew that you was going to post a Georgetown picture of him. So y'all know how I give it up. Rest in peace to the Georgetown great. And a very, very precious part of my childhood passed away today with Dikembe Mutombo. I truly, truly loved Georgetown growing up. I believe everybody loved Georgetown. I mean, I said everybody. Everybody that looked like me loved Georgetown. It was kind of like the same way black people felt about Georgetown, black people felt about the Jackson 5. So, rest in peace to him, man. He will be missed. In other news, I gotta say this before we go into this Charleston White Little Woody thing. Pete Rose, the all-time hits leader in Major League Baseball, he also passed away this evening. And that's trending. That's actually trending right now. He was 83 years old. All-time hits leader. He was held out of the Hall of Fame after a lifetime ban from gambling. A lot of stuff has happened in Major League Baseball since Pete Rose was banned, namely a steroid scandal, performance enhanced, a PD scandal. I think it was extreme that he was held out of the Hall of Fame. I think it was extreme. I think it was extreme punishment. I'm 47. He was held out of the Hall of Fame my whole life. That's a story that I just remember hearing back when I was a kid. That people wanted him in the Hall of Fame. Everybody wanted him in the Hall of Fame except for the commissioners, the people who was, responsible for handing out the sanction. I believe when another commissioner came in, he just went along with the commissioner who was his predecessor, and it's gonna be a very, very rotten thing, man. Vaughn, let me get you up out of here. It's gonna be a very, very rotten thing if they induct him into the Hall of Fame posthumously. That's just gonna be all. That's gonna be so fucked up. I feel that although there hasn't been a cause of death announced, I feel that Pete Rose died heartbroken. He was exiled from the game that he loved, man. For 40 years, easy. You know what I'm saying? But rest in peace to him. The all-time hits leader in Major League Baseball has died at the age of 83. He spent parts of 24 seasons in the majors, and over the span, he amassed 4,256 hits. On September 11th, 1985, Rose, at age 44, passed Ty Cobb with his 4,192nd hit and became Major League Baseball's anointed hit king. Of his nearly quarter century in the majors, 19 of those seasons came with Rose's hometown, Cincinnati Reds, whom he also managed at one point. He was a three-time World Series champion, first with the Reds in 75 and 1976, and then with the Philadelphia Phillies in 1980. Along the way, Rose was selected to 17 All-Star teams, and he won a National League MVP award in 1973 as a member of the Reds. While his on-field credentials as a player are unassailable and make him one of the all-time greats, the gambling scandal that led to his banishment from the game remains an indelible part of his baseball legacy. Rose has been on the permanently ineligible list since 1989, when he agreed that punishment as a consequence of his gambling on Major League Baseball alleged at the time, but since he confirmed. In his agreement with the then Commissioner Bart Giamatti, Rose was permitted to apply for reinstatement, which he did multiple times over the years to no avail. Rose initially denied betting on baseball for years, but then in 2002, he admitted to having bet on the sport as a manager of the Reds. In 2015, he finally admitted to also betting as a player. Rose bets were made in violation of Major League Baseball Rule 21D, which reads, Rule 21 misconduct, betting on ball games, any player, umpire, club or league official or employee who shall bet any sum whatsoever upon any baseball game in connection with which the bettor has a duty to perform shall be declared permanently ineligible. Rose, an obvious first ballot Hall of Famer based on his statistical merits, was never enshrined because of that permanent ineligibility. However, it wasn't until 1991 that the Hall of Fame ruled that players on the permanently ineligible list could not be elected or enshrined. That policy came into being roughly 2 years after Rose was placed on the said list. It was also the year before he was scheduled to appear on the Baseball Writers Association of America Hall of Fame ballot. As a consequence, Hall voters have never had the opportunity to appraise Rose's statistical case through the prism of his gambling violations. Rose, a two-sport athlete at Western Hills High School in Cincinnati, signed with the Reds not long after graduating in 1960. By 1963, he was in the majors. What followed was a sprawling career that traversed eras and cultures within the game. Rest in peace to Pete Rose. He was 83. Again, it's gonna be a shame when they gonna. It's gonna be a shame when they induct him posthumously. It's fucked up. So damn. Rest in peace to those two sports greats. And now for my topic: Charleston White versus Little Woody. I was standoffish on this whole thing because neither one of them rap. Neither one of them rap. Little Woody's relation to rap is that he told and testified in the YSL case against Young Thug and all of those guys. And Charleston White, he don't have no connection to hip hop. He don't. But after sitting on the, after sitting on the fence for a few days and paying attention to what's going on, I have to speak about this. I have to speak about this. Initially, he said they beefing. Some people said it was staged, but after listening to Little Woody, I know that it's not. Initially, when Charleston White came into the algorithm, when he came into the online community, I feel that he kind of had an objective. He often spoke on his objective. He spoke about the destruction of black people at the hands of mainly drug dealers and gang members, right? Boom. It don't take long for you to get that type of a message across. It don't. You don't have to keep repeating yourself. You can come out, lay down your agenda, and that's that. But he, like a lot of people that you see online, they start to take on the traits of an entertainer. My man said clout, definitely. They start to take on the traits of an entertainer, and before you know it, the initial message that he came to relay is lost. It's lost. All the cameras and lights and shit. Fame is a drug, exactly. Before you know it, the message is totally lost, and what you have is an ignorant nigga. So, for like the last year, Charleston White has been an ignorant, low-life nigga and shit. You very, very rarely still hear him speak about his initial message. You don't hear him speak about that no more. What you see is him conducting himself as an ignorant nigga, and that's probably who he was before he came here. You know what I'm saying? I noticed this about some guys, right? A lot of these niggas be wanting to be a part of the entertainment business and shit. Be wanting to be in front of the camera, be wanting to be a star. And then when that don't work, they'll try something else. Like my son. My son started out being a rapper. It didn't work. So he started to package himself and profess himself to be an activist. All of a sudden, he's talking about the same lifestyle and behaviors that he promoted in his music. Yeah. He starts to talk about the same lifestyle and behaviors that he promoted in his music because the music didn't work. It didn't. Nobody bought it. And Charleston White, the same thing. Now, I'm going to get back to him. Little Woody, call him what you want. Some people call him a killer, shooter, hoodlum, whatever. He didn't deny none of those things. But if you listen to him or you pay attention to him, he's kind of brutally honest. He's kind of brutally honest, and he don't seem to have no motive. He don't. For whatever reason, he's been turned into like a media personality. Like you see him online doing these interviews and doing these 20 versus ones. One of those 20 versus ones, I didn't even know what that shit was. My niece is in one of those. She's in Atlanta. She was in one of them joints. And her father, he's a street nigga in Atlanta. When he seen her on there with that nigga, he was pissed the fuck off. He was pissed the fuck off. And my niece called me and she act like she didn't do nothing wrong. I'm like, man, you need to chill, man, because it's really you that's kind of pushing her. She cute, you know what I mean? Trying to push her off into the spotlight. I felt that, she was probably kind of trying to live vicariously through my niece, but she put her next to someone who people might want to do something to. Again, I don't really I didn't really see a motive with him initially, but something that he's made clear is that he ain't on it no more. He's not on the killing thing. He's not trying to be known for that. That's not the agenda that he's pushing. And what Charleston White did expertly, Charleston White know that he's on a clock. He's not an entertainer. He can't keep saying a bunch of goofy shit and taking it back, picking beefs and quarrels with certain rappers. It just, his 15 minutes of fame is pretty much expiring. So what do? He aligned himself with Little Woody, somebody who came out the gate hot. And you see him next to him. And what he was doing for real was using him. He was using him. He was using him. He was using him to stay relevant. He was. And Little Woody started to, he said, Dewberry is goofy too. All them niggas need to go back where they come from. Little Woody started to notice that Charleston White was kind of promoting his lower self. What I mean by that is Charleston White was saying he a killer and doing interviews without him and speaking. People would ask him about him or whatever, and he'd be talking this killer shit. An identity that Little Woody is trying to step away from and leave behind. So they fallout came. From what I seen, the fallout wasn't being pushed by Little Woody. He just was being Little Woody. He just was doing him. Charleston White, and I thought he was playing at first. Charleston White started making videos talking about him. And again, I thought he was playing at first. But I seen Little Woody's live stream, and that's not a joke. He's not playing. And it made me look at him like, you's a dirty nigga. Charleston White is a piece of shit. He is. He will do anything to remain in front of the spotlight. And he can't keep going back to these people are destroying our communities, because now you're a part of the destruction of the community. When you on 20 versus 1, or whatever you want to call it, you disrespecting black women, you disrespecting black women and shit like that. That's contradictory to your original message. That's contradictory to your original message. And the things that led to them having their dispute or whatever was, Charleston White is an attention whore. He is. He gonna go in front of any platform that he has access to. He's a liar too. He's citing all types of numbers and opportunities, like he's in demand, like he got a bunch of he an algorithm chaser. He what he does is he'll get online and promote or act like he's in demand, like he's John Witherspoon or some motherfucking body. You know what I'm saying? Like he is in demand, like he got some shit going on that the internet just has to have. And some platforms who don't got a lot of motion, they will reach for him and bring that ignorant shit on their platform and shit, right? He told Little Woody he wanted him to come to Texas. And he said, for what? He said, we gonna get on this platform. And Little Woody is on some, what you need me for? What you need me for? Like, go ahead, do your thing. But Charleston White ain't popping like that no more. He basically shot his load. He's not, so he's trying to lure Little Woody to Texas without any compensation. Little Woody told him, man, it's a fee for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still a fee for me. Like, I'm in Atlanta, it's a fee for me. And his reason being was, my nigga, you trying to lure me. He said basically, I'm safe in Atlanta. Ain't nobody did shit to me in Atlanta. But in Texas, a motherfucker done already went across your fucking head. You not protected in Atlanta. You not protected in Texas. So I don't need to be going down there fucking with you. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I'm safe where I'm at, but you not. And he's starting to notice that Charleston White was trying to attach himself to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we a package deal. He's seen how well the 20 versus 1 went with them together. He wants to take Little Woody's celebrity and go to wherever the fuck he want to go with it. And Little Woody said, nah, man, there's a fee attached to me, and I got my own representation, and da-da-da-da. And when he wouldn't go, what happened? Charleston White start calling him a snitch. Oh, my God. He start calling him a snitch, a dirty nigga, and all kind of shit, a killer, all kind of shit. I'm like, wow. You can't be serious, fam. You just was fucking with him, man. You just was on camera with him like y'all was the best of buddies. Like y'all was the best of buddies. And if you really look at it, I agree with you. If you really look at it, Little Woody's